Hey Most Amazing Top 10 family, I'm your host Jay Durana and welcome back to Most Amazing Top 10. You guys just love hearing about people going through garbage and finding a whole bunch of gross stuff. I get it, as gross as the garbage is, there's always a ton of weird stuff down there and you never know what you're going to find. It's like the world's worst scavenger hunt. But you guys love dark stories about landfills and dumps, and that is why I'm bringing you today's list of top 10 scary items found in the trash, part 3. For those of you watching at home, make sure you stay until the end of the video because I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts, which you guys love so much. If any of you at home want me to shout out your pet, then you can hit me up on Instagram. And for everyone who is interested in more Most Amazing Top 10 content, check us out on Instagram and Facebook. We are starting to do Facebook exclusive content and you aren't going to want to miss any of that. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. At number 10 we have loose needles. A definite danger of being a garbage man is picking up a bag full of waste and you have no idea what's inside them. You expect that the worst thing that will happen will be some garbage juice spilling onto your shoes, but it can get way worse and very dangerous. A garbage man in New York was about to pick up a big plastic bag when he noticed something poking out of the bag. After a little inspection, he found that the bag was full of two things: rotted meat and a bunch of needles that had no protective sleeves on them. So if he would have grabbed the bag the wrong way, there could have been a chance that the rotted meat juice would have worked its way into his bloodstream. I can't imagine what that would have done to a person. If you can get coronavirus from eating bats, then what could you get from hot, wet, dead meat juice going right into your veins? Well, probably dead, but that's just me guessing. Who knows what the world has in store for us. At number 9 we have fire in the hole. Here's the thing guys, if you smoke, make sure you dispose of your cigarette butts in the right way. If you don't, there's a chance you could set something ablaze and possibly hurt a lot of people. It's more common than you would think. Someone just throws a cigarette butt into a garbage, it touches some paper or plastic wrapper, and then the whole thing catches flame and it starts burning like it's the 4th of July fireworks or something like that. Do a quick Google search of burning garbage and you can find a ton of these videos. In fact, I got one for you right here.
Hey man, got a big box of porn for you.
A big box of porn. Apparently this is very common. When some people are done with their massive porn collections, they will send it to the great adult store in the sky by throwing it right into the garbage. I think this is becoming less and less common because no one buys copies of porn anymore. Everyone just keeps it digital, and if you don't want it, you can just delete everything. You don't have to leave your shame in the garbage for some poor garbage man to find, or lucky garbage man depending on how you want to live your life. Although I don't recommend keeping trash porn that you find. I think it's so disgusting that even the devil would kick you out of hell and then just send you to like Florida or something. I don't know what's worse. Just kidding guys, I love Florida. You guys have a great vibe over there. You're very crazy and I appreciate it. At number 7 we have mortar launchers. I thought you could only get those at the military, but I guess some people have ways of getting their hands on expensive tech. And then once you have it, you think this would be something you would keep around, not just leave it in a landfill. Well, a young man was working in a landfill when he came across a working mortar launcher. Don't freak out too much though, there was no mortars in it, which is really where all the fun is had with the explosives. Having a mortar launcher with no mortars is like having a hot pocket with no filling and it's still frozen. It's just frozen bread with no fun inside. That's it. Well, because this thing was no danger to anyone, without the explosives, he didn't call the police or anything, he just took it home. Which I guess is fine, it's fine with me, I don't know what he used it for. At number 6 we have for science. Here's the thing guys, everyone makes mistakes. You work a hard long day in a hospital and then when everything is wrapping up you just want to get out of there as fast as possible so you can meet your boys for a cold one. Instead of checking the labels or anything, you just dump everything in the trash, call it a day, and then you head out. But then you find out that you threw away a gallbladder that needed to be tested for cancer. This is a true story. A lab tech at a hospital accidentally threw out a gallbladder that needed to be tested. The solution was to call the waste disposal company that was in charge of removing the hazardous waste from the hospital and then having them dig through the trash and try to find it. A super gross job, but someone had to do it. It was literally to save someone's life. At number 5 we have a bag full of dead pets. A garbage man wrote about this and he said he could smell it before he even got close to it. The can reeked like someone had just shoved a month-old tuna sandwich right up his nose. It was almost impossible to bear, but as a garbage man that is your job. You need to deal with the smell and take whatever stinking thing is thrown at you and then put it in the back of the truck truck. Well, he pulled the lid off the can and then saw a bunch of dead cats. He didn't know how this happened or where it came from. Did someone kill them? He contacted the police, but that's where the story goes cold. At number 4, we have blood. Ugh. This one was thrown onto Reddit by Redditor 98 Ford Contour. They said they worked in New York as a waste disposal worker, and for many years they came across a bunch of horrible things. Most of the time it wasn't that bad, you could just pick it up and throw it in the back of the truck, but on one occasion it was a little too much for the people he was working with. There was a pile of bags and flowing out of them was blood. Not just a little, like it was pouring out of them, making a nice little blood puddle on the ground. Ford Contour and his partner were both standing there and they had no idea what to do with this situation. Their superior got out of the truck, took a look at the situation and said, let's keep moving. Some things are too crazy for even the garbage men to touch and they don't want to deal with it, and I don't blame them. You have to touch blood pouring out of bags? That's gross. At number 3, we have female IDs. You find a bag of female IDs and you might think there's nothing weird about it. Maybe a bunch of ladies decide to throw out their IDs all together, but then you realize that no one ever does that, and only 2 things really could have happened. Someone is trying to steal people's identities so they can break into their bank accounts and get all their moolah and then spend it on whatever they want to spend it on, probably like McDonald's gift cards. What else would you spend it on? That's like the best thing ever. And the other option would be that there's someone killing ladies and taking their wallets, which actually sounds more accurate. Someone found a bag full of IDs. He called a bunch of the ladies who the IDs responded to. One of them actually responded and he gave her the whole bag. He's like, this is yours. Later that year there was reports of a serial killer taking out girls between the age of 18 and 24, but the bag of IDs was long gone by then. At number 2, we have something is moving. This one made me gag a little, I'm not gonna lie. A garbage man was walking up to a pile of garbage one hot summer day and he saw something that looked like a pile of moving garbage. It was writhing around on the ground. Part of him wanted to turn and run, but curiosity kicked in and he went to investigate. He got closer and realized that it wasn't garbage at all, but a giant pile of maggots. They were shaking and moving and crawling all over each other like some sort of massive ball of living jello, and the smell hit him. He'll never forget the rotting flesh smell, worse than the most brutal hangover farts you could imagine. He felt the vomit flowing up to his mouth, but not before he saw it. Sitting at the center of this larva soup was a skeleton, an animal skeleton. It looked like it could maybe be a cat or a raccoon, but it probably got stuck under the garbage or crushed by something and then died there, and then the maggots moved in and picked its body clean, leaving only the bones. And for the number 1 spot, we have a cranium. This one was written on Reddit by someone who deleted their account, so I couldn't give them credit, but they wrote about a story that was sweeping through their neighborhood. Some garbage men were doing the normal rounds and they came across a human head. I bet as a waste disposal worker you come across some really gross stuff, but I think this would take the cake. The sight of a severed head looking back right into your soul would probably scar you forever. There isn't enough sick leave to make you forget that one. I don't think we have to mention that the police got quickly involved in this. I don't think you just ignore someone who lost their head and threw it into the garbage. And what kind of person is getting rid of human faces nonchalantly? I think that's something you should at least bury or try to flush down your toilet or something. Like, put in a little effort if you're gonna cut heads off. Alright everyone, that is our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and as promised I'm gonna be doing some more pet shoutouts. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. I pick new pets every day, so if you don't get picked one day, you can message back another day. There's no limits to the amount of times you can message me, guys. You can message me as much as you want. I love the fans getting involved in this, and without taking any longer, let's shout out some pets. First we got Michael the cat. Look at that boy snoozing, he is out cold. Next we got Evie. I love when doggos have like a nice little toy and they just love it. They're like, it just melts my heart. You can tell they love their toy. Then we have Lucy, another doggo with a friend and a nice little toy. Love it. After that we have Nysa. She's a big floof and she's pregnant in this picture. I hope she has a healthy delivery. Following that we have Sophie. She's so cute playing in the snow. I just love the look of this dog. It's great. And finally we have Ruby. What a happy looking doggo. She is so good. Look at that big smile. Alright everyone, that is our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I've been Shadorana, and out of all these videos, I have learned to never go digging around in the trash.